fence. Fencing off our park again. I guess they're doing construction over here, I guess. Fences. But let's see. No fences over here. God. Look at this. How long has it been since I've been able to walk by this stupid Liberty Bell in this park, in this stupid park.
The one who can answer the photo and just go to the father.
This is the Denver capital. Thought I'd bring you down to Denver with me today. Hi. Hey guys.
Oh, hey, how are you?
I'm good. Show me your side, honey. Let them all in. Yeah. Just like sure for all of you. Afghans, no more imperial adventures. Never communists. Thank you. Thank you, Denver communists.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Living okay in the smoke?
And I'm smoking. sweetie.
Good to see you as well.
Good to see you, brother.
Copy on as well.
My colleague. Taliban, go back to your country. Pakistan. Hi, Janet. Janet's watching. I love this music. It's best. So we were listening, I was at a block party in East Aurora last night on East Colfax. And they were playing beach music, but you listen to it, it's Arabic music, you know, like belly dancing music, beach pat, it's just sped up. Yeah. It's awesome. Who's hosting this? Do you know?
Just a couple of like kids, either immigrants or the children of immigrants.
Yes.
But they're Afghani.
Awesome. Thank you.
Afghani is currency.
Okay.
So it's like
Do you know many members of this community?
I don't know. The only reason I'm actually like in contact with them is because I helped get them these speakers.
Yes, I know. I saw that in the chat. Thank you. Thank you so much. Or you guys were talking about the generator.
Oh, yeah.
Generator and the hours and stuff.
There are little white race societies around the country, but there are a lot of women, but I'm not sure. Yeah, this one, they're like, that shit won't go away. That weird fucking
Hey, Janet, where are you? Where are you, honey? Are you in Denver? Traveling the world on your adventure?
Hello. So we are running on Afghan time, and if you know what that means, it means we're running late. We will be starting in around 6:25, 6:30ish. So until then, please mingle amongst yourselves, and we will start soon.
Are they here to serve and protect? Aspen, you're in Aspen. Oh, Stevie Nicks was supposed to. Janet, you're in Aspen. Stevie Nicks was supposed to play a concert in Aspen. She canceled because of COVID. I was all ready to go to that concert. It's supposed to be on like September 5th or something. September 3rd, I don't know. I was all ready to go all by myself. Stevie Nicks.
Hello. Can we please have all the speakers for today come up? If you're a speaker or an organizer, if you could please come up on the steps. And for everyone who's out there, if you guys can please come in a little bit closer, we'd absolutely love that. We are going to be starting very shortly. I know I said that, but Afghan time, we all know how it is.
You gonna show me your flag? Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Faith. Hi.
I know you.
Did we see each other yesterday?
Not
Was it sweet?
Oh yeah, the sweet. Because I knew I recognized you from here. What's your name?
Carol.
Carol. I'm Danny.
Hi, Danny.
Nice to meet you officially. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. I know the day. I don't think it was yesterday. Or maybe it was the day before. When is today? It was Thursday. It was Thursday.
I can't remember what I did yesterday, so I believe you.
I know. I know. Yeah. So I'm on Facebook Live right now.
Okay.
And then I post it to YouTube, which I have a YouTube channel. It's Carol Funk. F-U-N-K. Funk. Yeah, that's my name.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, so I'm Carol Funk on Facebook, and I'm Carol Funk on Twitter, and I'm Carol Funk on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, awesome. I try to post, I try to go to as many of the states as I can to document it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of them on there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Carol with a C?
Yep. F-U-N-K. I was
Funky Buddha? No.
trying to put Carol Funk.
Is
Oh, no, Funk. F-U-N-K. Yes.
Spelled it
Yes, I have to spell it because that's it. Because people will say, what did you say?
right. Yeah.
Funk. Funk. Yeah, anyway. Oh, it's fun. What a beautiful night.
I've never put a microphone on a stand.
You got it.
Good. Can you guys hear me?
I don't even need a mic.
Tell women.
Hello everybody, thank you for being here today. My name is Sami Azizi and we are here to stand united with Afghanistan and all the tragedies that are unfolding there right now. I just want to welcome each and every one of you for being here today. We were able to get 41 different cities to participate in the same exact one, so thank you for being a part of it. We're going to start things here.
Yeah.
And I would like to call Nadima to start with a moment of prayer.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I stand in front of you today with a heavy heart. Our hearts are shattered. They were ready. They were ready to leave behind their everything. The towns that they grew up in, the unpaved roads they used to travel to and from work on, the communities that they were so deeply involved in, and so much more. However, in an abrupt chain of attacks that were carried out this past week, more than 100 lives were put to a devastating end. Please stand silently for a moment of prayer, reflection, and respect for the many lives lost in Afghanistan. thank you all. The beautiful country of Afghanistan is so much more than the media allows us to see. Our people, our music, our food, our clothing, and so much more has been overlooked by everybody. Our national anthem is a tribute to the beautiful and resilient place that we call home. At this time, I ask you all to raise your Afghan flags high and proud, and please join us as we play the national anthem of Afghanistan. Thank you, everybody. Next up, I'd like to introduce Zainab Hashim. She is one of the co-organizers for tonight's protest and an activist in our community. Please join me in welcoming Zainab.
Salam, everyone. Today, countries in Asia, North America, Australia, and Europe, as people from all walks of life have come together. We have gathered to protect women's rights, support ethnic and religious minorities, and to fight for the freedom of speech, education, and press. Let it be known that we demand acknowledgement of basic human rights in Afghanistan and international solidarity and support for our motherland. Our priority is not to establish a political agenda, but to save our own people in Afghanistan from the humanitarian and political crisis that is poisoning their lives. Whether that be the Taliban, our own corrupt government, or any outside force that wishes to profit off of Afghanistan. However, seeing as our immediate threat is currently the Taliban, we must join forces and first and foremost prioritize overcoming their grip. Our homeland has been experiencing a humanitarian crisis with 1,600 civilians within the past year having been killed and 500,000 forced to leave their belongings to escape Afghanistan, all while the world has done nothing but turn a blind eye. Our country has been at war for over 4 decades, with our brothers and sisters suffering daily due to the actions of their oppressors. We must be the voice for those who have gotten theirs stripped away in silence. We must be the hope for those who have lost theirs. An Afghan proverb states that even the 5 fingers of the hand are not alike, meaning that despite our varieties in background, at the end of the day, we all come together as part of one hand, Afghanistan. It is up to us to put our differences aside and fight the real threat to our brotherhood and sisterhood. Now I urge you, brothers and sisters, to take action. Educate yourselves, donate to reliable charities, and finally fight for the future of Afghanistan. At this point, I'd like everyone to take out their phones and text crisis to 52886, please. So it's crisis to 52886. Crisis sends a letter to the congressperson in your district, and crisis to 52886. I hope you guys were able to send that to that number. So I do want to get the energy of this rally up a little bit, so we're going to start with a couple chants. So repeat after me. Free, free Afghanistan!
Free, free Afghanistan!
Louder. Free, free Afghanistan!
Free, free Afghanistan!
Save, save Afghanistan!
Save, save Afghanistan!
Pray for Afghanistan!
Pray for Afghanistan!
Peace for Afghanistan!
Peace for Afghanistan!
Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams!
Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams!
Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams!
Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams!
Free, free Afghanistan!
Free, free Afghanistan!
Save, save Afghanistan!
Save, save Afghanistan!
Thank you. Our next speaker is a well-known person in the Afghan community. He is very respected and an amazing person, mashallah. His name is Brother Farid Amin. Please welcome him to the stage.
Assalamu alaikum. That means peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. Thank you for coming. It's an important day. First, let me thank the group that has organized this event, the protest. Second, I thank you all on behalf of our community for taking the time to come here and be with us and support freedom and justice. Dear sisters and brothers, the Afghan community have witnessed, the people of Afghanistan as well, 26 years of terrorism that unleashed on them. The Taliban do not listen to Islam. They step on Islam. They were not created to help and support Islam. They're anti-Islam. In the religion, if you want to stage a war against the Muslim group, you must seek permission from the most knowledgeable Muslim scholars to see if it is valid that you can go and fight. In Islam, there is no fight or war launched to kill and maim, to take a territory, unless it is to defend innocent people. The group did not listen to the scholars at the time. They were invited to sit down and talk and see if we could come to senses, if we could compromise, create a system that is acceptable to all Muslims in Afghanistan. Taliban did not listen. For 26 years, they've killed and maimed. They destroyed the infrastructure. They killed so many people by hundreds of thousands. They destroyed anything they could have. This is not Islam. As I said a week and a half ago or two, in Islam, if a Muslim is killed without a legitimate reason, it is as if the entire population of the world is killed. And at the same time, if a person is saved, it is as if the entire population of the world is saved. It is not allowed. One of the most sacred things in Islam is blood of somebody. You cannot go and kill. Go and look at their record, and see what they've done in the past 26 years. Unfortunately, the events that unfolded in the past weeks, it's beyond belief. We were told that the Afghan army did not fight. This is not correct. The Afghan army, trained by the US, was one of the best, better than Iranian, Indian, Pakistani, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and all the neighbors of Afghanistan. They did not fight with all the equipment. No, it was the government that did not allow them to go and fight. Tanks did not have gasoline. Airplanes did not have that. Same thing. Many soldiers found the Taliban in the back of their doors in their bases. Some bases were evacuated. The Taliban were called to go and get them. If you doubt any of that, go and search and find out how the events unfolded in the country and how the Afghan TV and news networks reported it. Even people called the government to tell them, why don't you send army and support to the army bases? So this is the fact. I am not sure why the United States government was involved in this. I am not sure, but we need to find out. I hope the people of the United States look into that. We let people to be ruled by terrorists. It is not acceptable. Their record shows what they did. The United States is the capital of freedom and democracy. We must hold on to democracy. We must let people live freely. You cannot impose the religion, because in Islam there is no compulsion in the religion. This is one of the verses of the Quran. A Muslim is supposed to have his heart clear. Nothing imposed on him that he worships or he must do. The Taliban realized that the people in the country has changed, and therefore they're trying to use a little bit of freedom, but they have been doing the same thing they did 20 years ago when they took control of the country. But I'm glad that there is united front. It may seem that they may not have the ability to fight back, but you will see, I hope. But I hope a system is accepted. Though they're a terrorist group, supported by our neighboring countries, especially the one to the east. And we must make sure that the United States government does not accept state-sponsored terrorism that is unleashed on the Afghans. There is a lot of ties between our two countries. The United States of America had a good relationship in the past. But when the Soviet Union invaded the country, the United States took a better road. And then in the past 20 years, it went there not to fight the Taliban, that's my knowledge. The United States of America went there because the Taliban created safe havens for Al-Qaeda. If you look at the United Nations says the ties of the Taliban with Al-Qaeda is there. It's very strong ties. What happened the day before yesterday in the bomb that exploded, they say it was ISIS. It is my staunch belief that it was done by the Haqqani network. Haqqani network is in charge of Kabul, and it has a strong ties, I'm sorry to say, if some people do not like it, Pakistan.
Yeah.
My dear friends, it is the responsibility of every single one of you to make sure that the people of Afghanistan do not fall in the belly of terrorism. You must make sure that that does not happen. It is your responsibility. The way the events unfolded, it is sad. You may not hear all of it. But it is true that the Afghan Muslims were terrorized, and they will be. One reason I give you is that to tell you how the Taliban were somehow supported 20 some years ago in 1995, 1996, and 1997. Robin Rafel, the special envoy of the United States to Afghanistan, told the defense minister to surrender to the Taliban, and repeated it in 1996 and again in 1997. And if you look at the other events, it shows that the Taliban were somehow welcomed. Some people did say that, oh, they're not this, they're not that. But their record shows who they are. And I hope that we stop this sort of politics. We need to call what it is, to call them. They're nothing but terrorists. And now they're in charge of a country that it was handed to them, that was given to them, that was handed to them. They took it without resistance. If there were resistance, they were part of the military that fought them, and the people uprose against them in certain cities and towns. But the time has come that we make sure that we are on the side of the people of Afghanistan and make sure they do not fall into the hands of the terrorists, because the terrorists, they're waiting for a situation to take complete control of the country. And once they do, you will see what they do to the people. They are not there for the people. They're for their own selves and for others. And I tell you this sort of terrorism they have launched, it will not let the area, the region, safe. It will change the region in the future to come. If some Americans believe to keep the terrorists at bay, you will not be able to. This is one world. No matter what you do, they will come towards us. It is important now that we support the peace process if there is one. If, let's say, the Afghans do not have any opportunity to stand against them, that a system that is accepted, that looks at every tribe and people in the country, and a system is created justly, that we look into justice for everyone, not just one group to impose its thoughts and ideas, especially when they're evil. I do not want to take much time. I hope that you, whatever you can, contact your representative, your senators, and tell them to stand with the people of Afghanistan and not with terrorists. Some politicians say things, but they do not do. You will regret it. I am sure you saw how people tried to flee the country. Why do you think they would do that? Do you think people love to leave their country, their houses, their wives and children, or women leave their parents, old parents behind in a very, very poor country? Do you think that's normal? No. They don't do that. If a group is for peace, why would people run away from peace? They know what happens to them if they do not run away. So some of them did that, and some of them flee to the mountains, and they'll come out. They'll come out to fight. They'll come out to fight for their freedom and make sure justice is done. And they will fight these evils. Mark my words. People will not stand in their houses, in their mountains, in the caves. They'll come out and they will fight. And we must support their fight. It is important that we stand with the right and against evil. We're all one people. And if we look at it, we're all children of Adam. Justice is justice. And we must uphold justice against anybody, however they look, however they present themselves. Thank you so much. I hope I've revealed my message. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Marwa, and kind of going into what Brother Fawad said about the recent events that are taking place.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
2 days ago, over 170 people were killed and more than 200 injured in a blast at the airport in Kabul, Afghanistan. One of those 170 innocents were one of my family members. My family said that when he got shot in the head, his face was barely recognizable. I'm devastated. Honestly, there are too many emotions to put into words. I know we're all in pain. Seeing our people, seeing innocent Afghans going through this is unimaginable. I'm overwhelmed with emotions and thoughts. My heart hurts. I'm traumatized. Everything just happened at once. The bearing thought of thinking if my family in Afghanistan are gonna make it through another day horrifies me. My heart aches seeing our parents like this. Seeing my mom cry every day for not being able to see her home again is devastating. Hearing my grandma calling every day just to see her son one more time is heartbreaking. Why are the kids being handed to soldiers not normalized when they should be with their family, not in the hands of a stranger? How am I here when my family's over there? How is that fair? Why did we become so lucky? Are we ever gonna go back to our home? Am I ever gonna see my family again? Are our parents gonna see their family again? Our job today is to be the voice of the unheard. That's the least we can do. I know I'm not the only one feeling like this. They had so many dreams and it was all wiped down. Many innocent children in Afghanistan aspire to have a simple education, but they can't even have that. How can they even have an education when they don't have a home or food to eat? They should be waking up in peace, not the sounds of bombs and gunshots. I hope one day we meet again, but in a different matter. I hope when we meet again, it's because Afghanistan is free, and the flag is waving in the sky again, and children are going to school instead of begging people for money just so they could feed their families, and our parents going back to their homeland, and us going back to visit our home. I hope we all see the people of Afghanistan with smiles on their faces and not fear. I hope we see happiness in their eyes and not tears. Thank you. Oh yeah. Let's welcome Sister Nadima.
Thank you, everybody. The world has failed us. Words cannot express the tremendous grief we are experiencing over this tragedy. This ongoing war has been fatal. We've lost thousands and thousands of people throughout the years. 2,000 US troops, 80,000 Afghan civilians. And in 1 week, almost 200 dead and another 200 wounded. As we mourn the tragic casualties, our deepest sympathies go out to everyone who is affected in one way or another. We condemn these heinous crimes. We want people held responsible. How much bloodshed will be too much? How many lives have to be taken for those in power to implement change? Afghan blood should not be deemed of lesser value than another's. And when one Afghan bleeds, we all bleed. Day by day, we see history repeating itself. This feeling of loss, this feeling of betrayal, our cries for help, it all comes from a place of hurt. As our death toll rises, as we hear the screams of mothers, fathers, children, our outrage also heightens. This is our time to hold everyone responsible in the acts of violence in Afghanistan accountable. Being here is one step, but man, we have a long way to go. With the grace of God and all of your support, I have a sense of overwhelming hope that I'll be able to walk the streets of Kabul in the near future. I have faith that I'll be able to see where my grandfather was buried and pay my respects to him. I aspire to see the day when these Afghan refugees who are here now can go back to their homeland without facing the pressures and various trials and tribulations. If you're Afghan, please raise your hand. Everybody take a look around. Many of you have fled a war, while others have been raised by parents who carry the trauma of fleeing a war. As a community, we haven't been the most kind to one another. But in this moment, I want to say I am so incredibly proud of my Afghan identity and am proud of my community who is standing here side by side to support our community back home. I commend all of the Afghans here today for reopening their wounds to serve the greater community. We have struggled to return to normalcy for decades, but we still stand, and we stand tall, black, red, and green flags in hand. For those of you who were here last week, you might recall me mentioning that Afghans are rare gems, and this will forever be my truth. The resilience and strength that our people have is endless, and we will get through this. Now, if you're non-Afghan, please raise your hand. Everybody take a look around. To the non-Afghans here, thank you so much for standing with us in solidarity and elevating Afghan voices. Thank you for being an ally, and thank you for providing us a safe space for this fight. We have felt silenced for 20 years, and by the look of this crowd, we can feel some comfort knowing that our cries for help have been heard. I will leave you all here with a list of action items. First and foremost, please call your representatives and demand an expedited refugee resettlement process. Demand that Afghans are evacuated swiftly and immediately, and that the deadline for evacuation is extended.
Yes. Yes!
I also ask you to support refugees in whatever way that you can. If you have the means to donate, there are plenty of places to do so. And if not, a donation of your time is also greatly appreciated. This can be for airport pickups, translating, organizing donations, and more. Please continue elevating Afghan voices and continue being an ally. Your Afghan community is facing many hardships and uncertainties right now, but it is through this union that we are able to continue our work and efforts. Thank you all so much for your support.
All right, once again, text crisis to 52886 as well. There's a beautiful poster back there. If you guys turn around, I just saw that. Text crisis to 52886. All right, so we saw that we have Afghans and non-Afghans here, so we're gonna do a couple chants. The people united will never be defeated.
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 Long live Afghanistan.
Long live Afghanistan.
Long live Afghanistan.
Long live Afghanistan.
Free, free Afghanistan.
Free, free Afghanistan.
Save, save Afghanistan.
Save, save Afghanistan.
Thank you.
Up next, I'd like to introduce someone who has been a pioneer in the community and an activist for several ongoing years. I'm so happy to be standing here today demanding change with such a driven individual who I get to call my cousin. Please join me in welcoming Husna Safi to the steps.
Hello, everyone. Hold on. This is tall. I'm going to adjust that a little bit. Testing. All right, there we go. I'm going to present a piece I wrote in the form of spoken word. I wrote it today, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. Today, I sat comfortably inside a coffee shop and blankly stared at my computer screen. I got so lost in the empty space of my Word document. I have tried to write this piece over and over and over again. When I think it can't get much worse, it does, and I delete everything I had written and start over. Today, although my pages were empty, my mind is full of the images of my people, knees deep in human feces and sewage, begging for a safe space, crying to be heard, shouting to be saved, only to have that sewage they stood in be violently dyed red with the color of their blood. But in that red lies not only their bodies, but their dreams, aspirations, and their faith in humanity. Hello, my name is Husna Safi, and I wear that name with pride. No, I do not have a nickname, and yes, I will correct you when you mispronounce my name. For my name carries the entire history of my family. I wear it with pride, knowing my ancestors are watching me, knowing that my ancestors are protecting me, and that's why I stand here and I fight today to help protect those Afghans to come, as one day I'll be considered their ancestor, and I want them to feel as protected as I do. My parents fled Afghanistan with a single backpack. They hid in cars and rode on donkeys through uncharted mountains. They were trying to protect themselves from a future from a country that they loved, but was crumbling under the imperialist's thumb. They would tell us stories of our homeland, the smell of fresh baked bread in the market, the sight of colorful kites in the sky, of music playing and of people dancing. Afghanistan was full of life, it was full of love,
It was progressive, it was passionate. My father tells me he still remembers the texture of the dirt beneath him as he touched the floors of his home for the very last time before leaving. And every time he speaks of his home, I can feel the pain in his chest as his eyes light up, telling his kids about the Afghanistan he remembers. I remember being a kid. I'd roll my eyes at my dad. Okay, Padad, I'm sure you ran miles and miles escaping a war. I'm sure you only had one backpack. I'm sure you were piled and piled with people on a truck trying to leave. I sat there the other day and I watched the news. There were families fleeing with only a single backpack.
Yes.
There were families running after planes taking off. Families piled on top of each other in cars trying to leave. I don't know what is worse, watching Afghanistan's history be repeated or feeling the pain of my parents who are experiencing this loss for a second time. We are living our parents' traumatic experiences, but this time we experience it at a distance. When I see the news and they share images of people running for their lives, I don't see just people, I see my parents. When I see women being dragged out of their homes, being kidnapped and raped, I do not see just people, I see my parents. When I see fear in a little children's eyes, I don't see just people, I see my parents. And just because my people wear scarves on their heads does not mean you get to drop bombs at their feet. You're ruining their futures while these terrorists are celebrating your defeat. Afghanistan, I am so sorry. You feel abandoned, you feel abused, you feel silenced, you feel confused all over again. How can the world turn such a blind eye when children are being kidnapped and raped? Orphans are sleeping on the side of the road left to die. Tell me how you sleep so comfortably in your homes watching families beg and plead to leave a war zone. But listen to me now. This time, it's a little different. When my parents came to America, they didn't have a community waiting for them. They created that community for us. They preserved our Afghan culture in a foreign land. They preserved our native tongue and our language. They taught us how to cook kabuli and how to eat it properly with our hands. And boy, did they tell us all the stories. Now those children who grew up listening to those stories, well, now we're grown. Now we're educated, and now we are ready to fight. We have been blessed with an opportunity to live, and I will be damned if I stand idly by while I watch the futures of those who could have easily been me be stripped away from them. Absolutely not. Our families had stories to tell their children of the beauty of their home. But what should I tell my future children? Which Afghanistan do I get to tell my kids about? The one in which my family joyfully lived? The one I can't wait to visit and experience for myself? Full of poetry and music and art, hospitality and hope? Or do I tell them about the other Afghanistan? The one in which a terrorist group has taken hostage for a second time?
Yep.
We as Afghans are warriors of the world. They call Afghanistan the graveyard of empires. Afghans fought Genghis Khan. Afghans fought Alexander the Great, in which he famously quoted, "May God keep you away from the venom of the cobra, the teeth of the tiger, and the revenge of the Afghans." The Afghans fought the British, not once, not twice, but 3 times, and which brought us the famous painting, The Remnants of an Army, which shows the last British soldier toiling the last few miles to his safety, as the Afghans had spared his life so he could go deliver the message of the British defeats. Amidst the Afghans' fight with the Soviets, neighboring countries began to meddle, but when Western culture desensitized their citizens with movies and games that kill people who look like me for sport, when America monetized off killing people and stealing our land full of mountains and minerals, jewels and drugs, when members of Congress are invested millions of dollars of their own money into companies that promote war and violence, of course this war wasn't gonna stop. When America turned Afghanistan into nothing but a video game, where they dropped drones and bombs with no care of my people, that was the beginning of the end of a country that was once so brightly lit. Now she sits in the middle of rubble and ashes left behind as broken dreams. Our allies had created a monster. They had created a monster and then released it into our home, telling us, don't be afraid, this monster is here to protect you. Only to witness the monster in which they funded and they armed bite the very hands that were feeding it. It was only then our ally rushed into our home to put the monster back in its cage. And finally, the moment it felt safe for us to leave our rooms again, we see our ally standing at the door waving goodbye, with the keys of the monster's cage in their grasp, as they never intended to lock the doors in the first place. And not only did they leave that monster's cage doors open, but they locked the doors of our own home behind, telling us we can't leave. And as they walk away, they light the final match and set that very home they came to protect on fire, and walked away as they watched it burn to the ground with people inside screaming for refuge. To my fellow Afghans, my fellow allies, and my neighbors here today, please do not let our house burn down a second time. Please call your representative and demand justice. Please welcome these refugees that have lost everything. And please continue to be the voice for those who can't speak. I pray that Afghanistan's skies will be full of kites and not bombs. I pray that Afghanistan's grounds blossoms with flowers and not landmines. I pray that the young girls of Afghanistan will feel the sunlight on their faces and not the blue fabric of a burqa. I pray that the young boys in Afghanistan will pick up pencils and not machine guns. I pray that my people find peace and they find justice and they find humanity knocking at their door. Together we can bring this country back to life after we have left it suffocating for so long. I want to end my time with you on stage here with one thing. This demonstration here today was planned prior to the full terrorist takeover of our country. Our brothers and sisters in Afghanistan were planning alongside ourselves to march and demonstrate their will to fight and their desire for freedom. But as things progressed so quickly, our plans had to change. They no longer could protest back home in fears of getting murdered by the monster. They had released statements saying, we can no longer raise our own voices, so we will silently sit and hope that the people around the world will shout for us. Ladies and gentlemen, Afghans, non-Afghans, young, old, I want you to shout with me. So loud and so full that my family back home in Afghanistan can hear you. So Afghans all around the world, especially those in Afghanistan, can feel seen, can feel heard, and can feel valued. The Taliban, whose name I have diligently refused to acknowledge until right now, took down the Afghan flag, stealing not only a country, but the identities of millions of people. I want you guys to shout with me, Zindabad Afghanistan, long live Afghanistan. And if you have a flag with you today, I beg you, please hold that flag up. Hold it up high, hold it with pride. And remember that this is the only flag we will ever acknowledge as the Afghan flag. The color red representing the bloodshed for our freedoms. The color black representing the troubled past of Afghanistan. And the color green for hope and prosperity of the future. Hold them up high, let me see. Afghanistan, oh, oops, I messed it up myself. Zindabad Afghanistan.
Zindabad Afghanistan.
Louder, Zindabad Afghanistan.
Zindabad Afghanistan.
Loud enough for the people in Congress to hear you. Zindabad Afghanistan.
Zindabad Afghanistan.
Loud enough for the Afghans in Afghanistan to hear you. Zindabad Afghanistan.
Zindabad Afghanistan.
Thank you guys again for standing here with us today. 10 years ago, I protested the Taliban outside of the Tivoli Center at the Metropolitan State University. I was the only person who showed up, and I stood there alone and loud and proud. Today, I am so humbled to say I am definitely not standing alone. Afghanistan, we hear you, we see you, and tonight we are gonna march for you. Please continue to demand change and justice for the innocent people of Afghanistan. Again, my name is Husna Safi, and no, I do not have a nickname. Thank you, Denver.
Give it up for Husna Safi one more time, please. That was beautiful. And the colors of our flag will forever be black, red, and green. Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams.
Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams.
Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams.
Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams.
Zindabad Afghanistan! Zindabad Afghanistan! I would like to hand it off to Farol for some quick announcements for you guys.
I don't know if you all know this, but there have been Afghans resettling in Colorado, refugees, for the past 20 plus years. One of the mosques that has been helping resettle these Afghan refugees for the past couple of years is in Thorin. It's called Masjid Ikhlas. This past couple of weeks, we have been promoting donation drives to help for the soon-to-be refugees coming into the community. We have gotten hundreds and hundreds of donations in our mosque right now, and we need volunteers to help sort and organize it. So this is one of the ways, if you want to take action right now and help, these are one of the ways that you can get your hands on and do something for the refugees that are coming in. If you're in the Thornton, Westminster, Northland area, please come help us. If you have Instagram right now, please take out your phone. We have an Instagram page where we will be posting updates. The page is called Masjid Ikhlas CO, MASJIDIKHLASCO. We will post updates on there. We are at capacity right now with physical donations, but if you go there, the link is in bio for monetary donations, which these funds will go to the refugees that are coming in. The entire community really pulled through getting these donations, and we really need help to sort and organize this. If you want, you can come and find me. I'll be in the corner. I will take your email down, and I will let you know the times and the dates that we're going to do, that we'll need volunteers to help. So thank you. Please don't forget, this is a way to support the community that are coming in.
Okay, we're gonna start the protest. We do ask you to please keep in mind you guys are representing the Afghan community. So as you can see, there is two beautiful girls right there. Can you guys raise your hand real quick? We are gonna be following them to march on 16th Street. Go ahead.
Free, free Palestine. Free, free Afghanistan. Pray for Afghanistan. Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams. Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams.
Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Free, free Afghanistan! Free, free Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Peace for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! The people united will never be defeated! The people united will never be defeated! Free, free Afghanistan! Free, free Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! The rise of black, red, and green! The rise of black, red, and green! The rise of black, red, and green! That is our demand, that is our dream! The rise of black, red, and green! The rise of black, red, and green! That is our demand, that is our dream! Alright, I'm gonna need more energy from you guys. Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Free, free
people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
Free, free Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan!
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan!
Say it loud! I'm not getting approved! Say it loud! I'm not getting approved! Free, free Afghanistan! Free, free Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Peace for Afghanistan! Peace for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! The people united will never be defeated! The people united will never be defeated! Free, free Afghanistan! Free, free Afghanistan! Refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear! Refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear! Refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear! Refugees are welcome here! Free, free Afghanistan! Free, free Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! Say it loud, say it clear! Refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear! Refugees are welcome here! Free, free Afghanistan! Free, free Afghanistan! Say it loud! I'm Afghan and I'm proud! Say it loud! I'm Afghan and I'm proud! Free, free Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Save, save Afghanistan! Free, free Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Zindabad Afghanistan! Zindabad Afghanistan! Say it loud, say it clear! Refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear! Refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear! Refugees are welcome here! Free, free Afghanistan! Free, free Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Peace for Afghanistan! Peace for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! The people united will never be defeated! 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 Free, free Afghanistan! Free, free Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan!
Save, save Afghanistan!
Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Say it loud, say it clear! Refugees are welcome here! Free, free Afghanistan! refugees are welcome here. Free, free Afghanistan. Save, save Afghanistan. Peace for Afghanistan. Pray for Afghanistan. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Free, free Afghanistan. Save, save Afghanistan. Long live Afghanistan. Long live Afghanistan. Long live Afghanistan. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. save Afghanistan. Peace for
Come this way.
Afghanistan.
Peace for Afghanistan.
Pray for Afghanistan.
Pray for Afghanistan.
The people united will never be defeated.
The people united.
Take the street.
The people united will never be defeated.
The people united will never be defeated.
Free Afghanistan.
Free Afghanistan.
Save Afghanistan.
Save Afghanistan.
Long live Afghanistan.
Long live Afghanistan.
Long live Afghanistan.
Long live Afghanistan.
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Free Afghanistan.
Free Afghanistan.
Save Afghanistan.
Save Afghanistan.
Say it loud, I'm not getting a crowd.
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 Free Afghanistan.
Free Afghanistan.
Save Afghanistan.
Save Afghanistan.
Peace for Afghanistan.
Peace for Afghanistan.
Pray for Afghanistan.
Pray for Afghanistan.
Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams.
Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams.
Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams.
Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams.
Long live Afghanistan.
Long live Afghanistan.
Long live Afghanistan.
Long live Afghanistan.
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Free Afghanistan.
Free Afghanistan.
Save Afghanistan.
Save Afghanistan.
Peace for Afghanistan.
Peace for Afghanistan.
Pray for Afghanistan.
Pray for Afghanistan.
The people united will never be defeated.
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 Long live Afghanistan.
Long live Afghanistan.
Long live Afghanistan.
Long live Afghanistan.
Free Afghanistan.
Free Afghanistan.
Save Afghanistan.
Save Afghanistan.
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Free Afghanistan.
Free Afghanistan.
Save Afghanistan.
Say it loud, I'm not getting a crowd.
Say it loud, I'm not getting a crowd.
Say it loud, I'm not getting a crowd.
Free Afghanistan.
Free Afghanistan.
Save Afghanistan.
Save Afghanistan.
Peace for Afghanistan.
Peace for Afghanistan.
Pray for Afghanistan.
Pray for Afghanistan. Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams.
Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams.
Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams.
Long live Afghanistan.
Long live Afghanistan.
Long live Afghanistan.
Long live Afghanistan.
Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Free Afghanistan.
Free Afghanistan. Save Afghanistan.
Peace for Afghanistan.
Peace for Afghanistan. Pray for Afghanistan. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Free Afghanistan. Save Afghanistan. Long live Afghanistan. Long
live Afghanistan! Refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Free Afghanistan! Free Afghanistan! Save Afghanistan! Save Afghanistan! Say it loud, I'm not getting it wrong! Say free Afghanistan! Say save Afghanistan! Peace for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Free Afghanistan! Free Afghanistan! Save Afghanistan! Save Afghanistan! Peace for Afghanistan! Peace for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! The people united will never be defeated! 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 Free Afghanistan! Free Afghanistan! Save Afghanistan! Save Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here!
Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here!
Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here!
Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here!
Free Afghanistan! Free Afghanistan! Free Afghanistan! Free Afghanistan! Say it loud, I'm not getting a crowd! 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 Free Afghanistan! Free Afghanistan! Save Afghanistan! Save Afghanistan! Peace for Afghanistan! Peace for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Free Afghanistan! Save Afghanistan! Peace for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan!
The people united will never be defeated!
The people united will never be defeated!
The people united will never be defeated!
Free Afghanistan! Free Afghanistan! Save Afghanistan! Save Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Say it loud, I'm not getting a crowd! 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 Free Afghanistan! Free Afghanistan! Save Afghanistan! Peace for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Free, free Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Peace for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! The people united will never be defeated! The people united will never be defeated! Free, free Afghanistan! Pray, save Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Free, free Afghanistan! Free, free Afghanistan! Save Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Say it loud, American and proud! Say it loud, American and proud! Free, free Afghanistan! You're doing a great job. Peace for Afghanistan! Peace for Afghanistan! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Black, red, and green, we hear all your screams! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Louder! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Free, free Afghanistan! Free, free Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Peace for Afghanistan! Peace for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! Pray for Afghanistan! The people united will never be defeated! 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 Free, free Afghanistan! Free, free Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Long live Afghanistan! Say it loud, I'm not getting a crowd! Say it loud, I'm not getting a crowd! So much harder than that. Say it loud, I'm not getting a crowd! Say it loud, I'm not getting a crowd! So keep that energy going. Say it loud, I'm not getting a crowd! Say it loud, I'm not getting a crowd! Say it loud! Say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here! Free, free Afghanistan! Free, free Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Zindabad 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 Afghanistan! People united will never be defeated! The people united will never be defeated! The people united will never be defeated! The people united will never be defeated! Free, free Afghanistan! Free, free Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! Save, save Afghanistan! I'm gonna take a 10-second break. I would do a couple more chants. Please, I'm out of breath, so can you guys say it louder? Thank you!
Yes, we can!
Say it loud, I'm not getting a crowd! Say it loud, I'm not getting a crowd! Say it loud, I'm not getting a crowd! Say
Yeah.
Alright, let's try to stay in front of the mic, please. We don't want to mess up the mic. Everyone, please get on the steps. We're going to tag all of you. Everyone is welcome to join us.
That was awesome. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Love our community in Denver. There are good people in Denver. Thanks for joining us tonight. Stop killing Afghanistan. Afghanis, please. Remember, we have a duty to fight for our freedoms.
We are representing the Afghan and Muslim
We have a duty to win. We must love and support one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Love you guys. Love you guys. See you again soon.